let's talk about the absolute masterpiece that happened today. So for those of you who don't know, today came out One Piece fan letter, right? So I'm looking at King Recon's post. I'm happy to see that literally everyone loved this. It is directed by Megumi, who did One Piece 1015, right? So even going into this, I think everyone knew we were in for a treat. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I was like 10 seconds into this episode, and I was like, what? I wasn't even past the intro when I thought, like, this is gonna be something. It was very different from what I expected, but man, this is, I think, the perfect representation of what I think of sort of seeing a director really flex their muscles. Because a lot of the stuff you saw in this episode, like the puzzle pieces especially, you could see that, like, she thinks about the world in a completely different way. Like some of the cuts you see in this one, where we see like Luffy and the Marine captain, or I don't know if he was a captain or whatever, but paralleling like the brothers, all of that, and then like the little puzzle pieces, them like fitting them together, and then by the end they have all the puzzle pieces. Oh my god, it was so powerful. And if I watched, like, oh my god, my brain is a scramble because I had so many thoughts about this. This is what I would almost imagine if One Piece was never a manga and was written differently. This is the kind of episode I would expect to be Return to Sabaody, told about these wild pirates who appeared on Sabaody again, and then just did the things they did, and we sort of observe it from a multitude of different perspectives. The direction in this episode, oh my god, it was so beautiful. It was so... I have a few notes, hold on. I have a few notes. So, number one, we saw a few cuts of Marineford in here, right? And I think, like, the people obviously are hyped about Mihawk and Crocodile. My biggest thing here, it was horrifying. Like, some of the shots we saw in this one, like, Marineford looked horrifying. It looked like a nightmare. You just saw blood. You saw people dead on the floor. It was so bad. And I think that was great. That was so good. Let me open my notepad. So that was really, really good. Paralleling the Navy soldier to Luffy, and then, you know, the whole, like, we only lived because he gave up Ace. That's perfect. That's perfect. I mean, the little Nami is also really cute, just running around wanting to mail the message. This scene right here. This guy. This guy just thinking the Chopper is like a mega cute was like the best thing ever. It was really interesting seeing like how many different sort of I treat this as canon. I think this is 100% canon, by the way. Like, in my brain, this is legit. All of this happened. And it's really funny to see like how many different people you sort of wouldn't expect to be interested in these people at all, but they are, right? Like the guy who thanked Luffy, essentially, right? That was so cute. That was so cute. The power scalers, oh my god. Dunking on Sanji, where it's like the cut you see where they're talking about the who's the strongest. Wait, hold on. They even mention Whitebeard, right? Because power scalers also talk about let me bring this up. There we go. Because power scalers like to bring up Whitebeard in these conversations, and this guy's just like, he's not a swordsman. He was using this thing. So confirmed, Whitebeard's not a swordsman. But all of this was like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Just how fourth wall breaky it is. And then the Zoro Sanji thing where like Sanji walks in, why are you only talking about what did he call him? Did he I don't think he called him Zoro. I don't remember what he called him, but why aren't you talking about Blackleg? And then they just bust out laughing. He doesn't even have a bounty. Oh my god, it's excellent. That scene was just a Twitter conversation. It definitely felt like that, yeah. It felt like it was literally just a conversation ripped right out of Oh, by the way, the little Nami, her having glasses is like to like as a personification of Megumi herself, right? Because I think the only picture I've seen of her is with like basically the same exact glasses. That's purposeful, right? I think it is. Whatever the case. Also, the pacing of the punch. When Luffy punches the pacifista. Let me see if I can have a thing opened up here. I don't think I do. Whatever the case. When Luffy goes to punch the pacifista, and it's literally like 5 seconds, that's the kind of pacing we need. He gets punched before Luffy even finishes the phrase. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And notice how I'm not even talking about the actual quality of the animation, because it was so incredible that I just want to talk about the direction instead. The final shots, and this one is definitely like the thing that hit the hardest. When you see like her falling to the floor and she's in shadow and like the light is just like one hand out of reach, and then we see all the puzzle pieces scattering, but then they put all of them back together and she rips up. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. And the ED sung by the Straw Hats themselves. Cinema. Cinema. Absolute cinema. And that's not even to mention the animation. The animation was like, I don't even know what to call it, because it embodies that style of being like super low fidelity, right? Like there is not any extensive compositing really. When you look at just a single frame from it, it's not like excruciatingly complex or something, right? But when it flows together, oh my god, it is gorgeous. This is top 5 all One Piece episodes of all time for me. And it's not even close. 20 minutes of this, I wish, completely forgot to mention this. You know how in a lot of the arcs, we see how once the Straw Hats leave, like the culture of the Straw Hat, respecting Luffy in general, it sort of bleeds into the local culture, right? Like in Dressrosa, or was it Fishman Island? I think it was Fishman Island. I think in Fishman Island you saw like the kids wearing the Straw Hats, right? And I think you saw something very similar in Dressrosa. Seeing a story from like that point of view, in this case the little Nami, is beautiful. It's again like telling the story we know just from a different perspective. And now the fact that we're going to get all of Return to Sabaody from the Straw Hats' perspective, also in increased fidelity. I won. Do you realize that I have won? Everything coming out now is around Return to Sabaody. They are serving me. Me personally. I have listened to the original version, yeah, as well, where the Straw Hats sing. I have. ED's song this week is gonna be the One Piece for the remaster next week. I think there was posted about like the remake or remaster or whatever you want to call it. There were clips of what it's going to be. I don't know, like my thoughts on this, they are completely scrambled because I was genuinely just having the time of my life. I wanted to take a few notes throughout, but it was, and the way it weaves those narratives together too. It's like in 20 minutes, it weaves together so many like I guess I would call them just like emotional threads, because it's not really the plot, you know? It's like these character themes that go throughout the entire story, and it somehow pulled all of them together in this weird run-around Return to Sabaody. And seeing all the Straw Hats just pop up in the background, like one by one, oh my god. When I saw like the 2 agents, I don't remember what like CP what it was, but when they like take the fake chopper and run away, and that they pop up here too. Cinema. I wish we got Megumi directing something on a very, very large scale. Because the animation here, it was incredible, everything's great. But the direction here, the way that animation is leveraged, the smash cut from Luffy running up to Ace to the Navy dude, and again, the puzzle pieces, fitting all of them together, naming this like a Straw Hat fan letter, it felt like a love letter to the One Piece franchise, to everyone watching it. It really did. Like, I think titling it fan letter, obviously it fits with the whole story they're telling, but I think even like in like a super meta sense, fan letter is like the best title for this you could ever have. It really was just a present to the community. With things like, again, like the whole power scaling conversation and all that, it is just oozing in personality and basically saying like, yes, we know about these things. We know you talk about these things. Let's embrace them. Let's make them in universe. Oh, it's perfect. Maybe I'm gonna talk about it a bit more when I get around to talking about Egghead on the main channel, and maybe the remaster too, if I get around to covering that. But right now, my only thing I have to say is go and watch it. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it like right now. I don't care that it's not canon. I don't care that it's a special. It is top 5, maybe even top 3 episodes of all time period. And it doesn't even have the Straw Hats, like, really. Cinema. One Piece movie with her? Yes. Yes. I would want to see her just direct in general. Because, like, really, the way she sees the story and the way she leverages, like, colors and sort of abstract imagery. We saw this with 1015 too, right? Like, when you see Kid Luffy running past Yamato, and then, like, the line, like, shakes in between Yamato, and then it shatters, and the scene fills with color. The way she sees the story in this sort of abstract way and conveys it through colors, through, like, imagery you don't really associate with the story in any tangible way, I think that elevates the story so much. She's a goddamn prodigy in this. They just keep... I didn't even mention, like, the Vincent cuts, right? And that's what I mean. Like, I think, like, in this episode, any singular sequence you took was, like, up there with some of the best sequences in the entire story. The scenes in here were excellent, but talking about them in isolation is almost, like, hard just because of how great the overall thing was, right? And that's what I mean. Like, I could talk about the animation for forever because it was literally, like, 20 pure minutes of mind-boggling animation, and it was gorgeous. But the direction here, oh, how it ties all that together. Vincent was with the Kizaru shot, right? Kizaru versus Marco, I'm pretty sure that was Vincent.